συγχωρείται για το λάθος στον πίνακα. Συμβαίνουν αυτά. Η επόμενη αγωνιστική, ΠΑΟΚ Αμπελόκηπη, Ηρακλής Λάρισα, Ολυμπιακός, Sporting Παπάγου, Πανιώνιος Άρης, Παναθηναϊκός Περιστέρι, Ηράκλειο ΑΕΚ. Καλεσμένος στο στούντιο, Γιώργος Σιγάλας, ο αρχηγός του Ολυμπιακού και βασικός τέλεχος της εθνικής ομάδας. Γιώργο, καλώς ήλθες. Έχουμε πολλά να πούμε, αλλά θα προς χθεσινούς αγώνες. Ας ξεκινήσουμε λοιπόν με τα στιγμιότυπα και τα ρεπορτάζ από τα χθεσινά ενδιαφέροντα μάτς.
Μπορεί ο αγώνας Ολυμπιακού Ηρακλή να έμοιαζε και λίγο με αγκαρία για τις δύο ομάδες, αλλά τελικά έμειναν αρκετά πράγματα που θα περάσουν στην ιστορία μαζί με το 72-38 το σκορ της νίκης του Ολυμπιακού. Ο Ηρακλής έκανε αρνητικό ρεκόρ πόντων για την ιστορία της Α1, ένα ρεκόρ που δύσκολα θα καταρριφθεί στο μέλλον, ενώ επίσης αρνητικό ρεκόρ πόντων είναι και η 9 που πέτυχε μόλις σε 20 λεπτά στο δεύτερο ημίχρονο. Ο Ολυμπιακός κυριάρχησε μετά φορά ήταν μόλις στους 12 πόντους, 39-27. Από εκεί και πέρα κάτι το παιχνίδι των ψηλών του Ολυμπιακού που και 8 rebound.
Φίλες και φίλοι του Super Sport, γεια σας. Καλώς ήρθατε σε ένα ακόμη καταπληκτικό ραντεβού με τον μαγικό κόσμο της National Basketball Association. Το υπερθέαμα των play-off του NBA συνεχίζεται στο Super Sport. Θα πάμε στο Charlotte Coliseum αυτή τη φορά για να παρακολουθήσουμε την αναμέτρηση των Hornets με τους Chicago Bulls, και ενώ μετά από τις δύο πρώτες αναμετρήσεις μεταξύ των δύο ομάδων στην δεύτερη φάση των play-off στα ημιτελικά της Ανατολικής Περιφέρειας, οι δύο ομάδες είναι ισόπαλες 1-1 με τους Hornets να έχουν κερδίσει στην δεύτερη αναμέτρηση μέσα στο United Center τους πρωταθλητές του Phil Jackson. 1-1 λοιπόν μετά από το 83-70 τη νίκη στο πρώτο παιχνίδι των Bulls. Στη συνέχεια οι Hornets απάντησαν με σκορ 78-76, κερδίζοντας πριν από δύο βράδια τους πρωταθλητές τον Michael Jordan και την παρέα του. Τρίτο παιχνίδι μεταξύ των δύο ομάδων σε μια σειρά που περιμένει μία από τις δύο να κατακτήσει τουλάχιστον τέσσερα παιχνίδια, 4 νίκες σε αυτή τη σειρά των αναμετρήσεων στα ημιτελικά της Ανατολικής Περιφέρειας. Να πούμε πως νωρίτερα είχαμε την δεύτερη νίκη των Utah Jazz επί των San Antonio Spurs στην παράταση με 109-106. Οι δύο ομάδες συνεχίζουν και αυτές τις αναμετρήσεις στα ημιτελικά της Δυτικής Περιφέρειας το Σάββατο και την Κυριακή στο τρίτο και το τέταρτο παιχνίδι. Εδώ βλέπετε μία από τις ελάχιστες στιγμές τις οποίες στο δεύτερο παιχνίδι ο Michael Jordan πλησίασε το αντίπαλο καλάθι. Συνήθως μέχρι και τα 5 τελευταία λεπτά του δεύτερου παιχνιδιού ο Michael Jordan, κυρίως από την περιφέρεια, προσπάθησε να απειλήσει την άμυνα των Charlotte Hornets. Τα είχε καταφέρει στο πρώτο παιχνίδι πετυχαίνοντας 35 πόντους με 11 στα 26 εύστοχα σούτ. Στη συνέχεια όμως τα πράγματα δεν ήταν και τόσο εύκολα για αυτόν, καθώς στο δεύτερο παιχνίδι σημείωσε 22 πόντους με 10 στα 21 εύστοχα σούτ. Είχε 0 στα 3 τρίποντα. Στο δεύτερο παιχνίδι 1 στα 3 τρίποντα στη διάρκεια του πρώτου αγώνα. Βλέπετε εδώ 22 οι πόντοι στο δεύτερο μάτς κόντρα στους Charlotte Hornets. 4 συμπαίκτες του πέτυχαν συνολικά 26 πόντους. Τα πράγματα δεν ήταν και τόσο εύκολα για τους Bulls στην δεύτερη αναμέτρηση. Σε λίγο λοιπόν θα είμαστε και πάλι μαζί για να παρακολουθήσουμε από την αρχή αυτό το σπουδαίο παιχνίδι, το τρίτο στη σειρά των αναμετρήσεων μεταξύ των δύο ομάδων. Οι Charlotte Hornets για πρώτη φορά σε αυτά τα ημιτελικά της Ανατολικής Περιφέρειας υποδέχονται τους πρωταθλητές του Σικάγο. Βλέπετε εδώ τους 36 πόντους και πώς τους πέτυχαν ο Curry, ο Royal, ο Armstrong και ο Reed. Στο δεύτερο παιχνίδι παίχτες που συνήθως ξεκινούν από τον πάγκο, και βλέπετε τα υπερπολίτιμα στοιχεία που δείχνουν για μία ακόμη φορά το υπέροχο παιχνίδι αυτών των δύο παιχτών των Hornets, του Vlade Divac του center των Hornets και του Anthony Mason του power forward, που έκαναν πραγματικά ένα σπουδαίο παιχνίδι στην δεύτερη αναμέτρηση. Σε λίγο λοιπόν και πάλι μαζί για να παρακολουθήσουμε από το Τζάμπολ και μετά αυτήν την σπουδαία αναμέτρηση στο Charlotte Coliseum, Charlotte Hornets, Chicago Bulls. θα σταματήσει στη Μόντσα η έκπληξη του φετινού πρωταθλήματος Νόρι Γιούκι Χάγκα? Το σίγουρο είναι ότι θα το προσπαθήσουν οι διώκτες του στο παγκόσμιο πρωτάθλημα Superbike. Ομάδες, κινητήρες, αναβάτες σε εγρήγορση για τον τρίτο γύρο στη θρυλική Ιταλική πίστα. Παρακολουθήστε την Κυριακή τις μάχες τροχό με τροχό, αποκλειστικά και ζωντανά στο Super Sport. Περιφέρεια σημαίνει θέαμα, απόλαυση, showtime και οι ημιτελικοί της κόβουν την ανάσα. Los Angeles Lakers, Seattle Supersonics. Δύο ομάδες με διαφορετικό στυλ παιχνιδιού έχουν τον ίδιο απότερο σκοπό. Την κυριαρχία στην Άγρια Δύση και το δακτυλίδι του πρωταθλητή. Los Angeles Lakers, Seattle Supersonics. Το τέταρτο παιχνίδι της σειράς από το Los Angeles το βράδυ της Κυριακής. Στο Super Sport βλέπετε τις πεντάδες των δύο ομάδων. Charlotte Hornets υποδέχονται τους Chicago Bulls στο Charlotte Coliseum της North Carolina και βλέπετε οι Bulls θα αγωνιστούν με τους Pippen, Rodman, Longley, Jordan και Harper. Οι πρώτοι πέντε για τον Phil Jackson. Από την άλλη πλευρά ο Dave Cowens έχει επιλέξει τους Rice Mason στη θέση των forward, ο center ο Vlade Divac και οι δύο guard ο Bobby Phills και ο David Wesley. Δύο παίχτες που είχαν βοηθήσει κυρίως ο Phil's τους Hornets στην δεύτερη αναμέτρηση. Ο Phil's ο οποίος είχε 22 λεπτά συμμετοχής στο δεύτερο παιχνίδι, κυρίως στο πρώτο είχε προσπαθήσει περισσότερο από την θέση του point guard να ενισχύσει την ομάδα του. Είχε 38 λεπτά.
The Chicago Bulls in the last 2 years have lost back-to-back games only twice in the playoffs, and that was both in the finals. Seattle did it and Utah did it. And here is Anthony Mason in the low post, tried to make a tough feed inside, and it's picked off by Longley.
With Longley in there at 7'2", 295, he takes up a lot of space. You have to thread a needle there. Mason has got to look for his shot first.
Remember, the Bulls started out hitting one of their first 12 shots. It was a very strange start to game number 2 Wednesday night.
The main thing to remember in this series is we have poor shooting percentages. Chicago shooting 39%, Charlotte only 38%.
Pippen leaves it for Ron Harper, who hits. Ron Harper, who's been bothered by a hamstring injury, and he left the floor the other night. He has had a slow start to this series. In fact, has scored only 2 points in the first 2 games, giving the Bulls the lead. Mason, guarded by Rodman. And here is David Wesley going back to Mason with 8 seconds of traveling called against Anthony Mason.
Yeah, that was a good call. Very good call. Mason got caught up in the fact that he thought he was going to make the pass to Wesley, who was cutting down the lane on a back cut off of Michael Jordan.
So let's see the matchups in this one. Glenn Rice will be guarding Ron Harper. And Divac is guarding Rodman. Mason is on Longley. Longley with the ball going strong to the hoop. And the rebound by Vlade Divac.
Divac has been sensational. Charlotte has out-rebounded Chicago in both games by 1 and by 4. Divac with 14 and 19.
And Divac has his shot blocked by Scottie Pippen. Pippen is guarded by Bobby Phills. Phills was guarding Michael Jordan in the first game of this series, so we have had numerous defensive matchup changes. It's been a chess match for sure early in the series.
Now, we've had excellent defense at both ends of the court. Now, you're going to see this is just a terrific recovery by Scottie Pippen with the block with the left hand. Now, at the other end, with Wesley guarding Michael, Michael is going to get to the post. They'll double team. This will open up better perimeter shooting for Chicago.
Bills is looking inside to Divac, guarded by Longley. Divac trying to go baseline, and they'll call Longley for the blocking foul. Longley playing his first two games, 14 minutes in game number 1 of this series, and then 25 minutes in doing the job off the bench, but got into early foul trouble in game 2.
You must challenge Longley off the dribble. And whether it's Divac, Mason, whoever is in there, because Luke is not going to move his feet. And if you get in 2 dribbles, you're putting him in a high-risk category for a foul.
Michael Jordan is guarding David Wesley. Pippen all over Glenn Rice, who has had a ice-cold series, shooting-wise, to start. Here is Mason backing in against Rodman. And there is Anthony Mason changing hands and misses. Remember, in game number 1, Dennis Rodman was all over and shut down Anthony Mason. But a loose ball foul has been called, and that'll be against Mason.
Now, you're going to see that all night. It's going to be a battle between Mason and Rodman. A lot of physical contact. The referees are going to have to make a wise decision of how much they're going to allow happen.
Here is Harper picked up by Rice on the runner, and here comes Mason with a rebound. A 3-on-2 situation for the Hornets, and here is Glenn Rice looking to get underway, and he hits the basket. Rice with a 2-point hoop, coming in, hitting just 34% of his shots from the field, but Glenn Rice averaged 25 against the Bulls in the regular season here.
This is it right there.
Jordan goes right around Wesley as if he were not even on the court.
Well, you're trying to get away with a major mismatch there. Michael is not going to settle for the jump shot tonight.
And here is Glenn Rice missing from the perimeter. Divac fighting for the loose ball. Last touch by the Bulls.
Dick, the Bulls, they have got to pay attention to Divac. He's all over the offensive board. Just watch this quick move right here. See, there's no size factor. There's no strength factor. Michael is not going to let the double team get there. He's going to get off a move in a hurry.
And here is Wesley trying to drive around, and Wesley misses. Tapped up in the air, and Pippen has it. A 3-on-1 for the Bulls with Harper and Jordan on the wing. Pippen takes it himself, scores, and is fouled.
The middleman on the break. If they do not stop your dribble, they fake and they go away. Keep your dribble and take it right to the front of the rim. It's a smart basketball by Scottie Pippen because he is a finisher. So you've got to get up in there and stop the dribbler defensively and force the ball to change direction.
Scottie Pippen coming off a 4 for 16 shooting game after 25 points in game number 1. And he misses the free throw. The personal was on Bills. The Bulls off to the early 6-2 lead. Here is the Bills in the low post, and they're going to get Ron Harper with the push.
Anytime that a guy is struggling, Dick, and in this series, Bills is attempting 8 shots a game. He's only shooting 25%. Now, he's a key double-figure guy for you. Get him in low. Hope that he gets off to a good start.
And what looked to be a lob pass, not a shot. Errant throw off the glass, and the Bulls come back, still leading by the 6-2 count. Michael Jordan misses. Divac tapped it into the hands of Phil. So Jordan has 2 points, coming back to North Carolina, native of Wilmington, where he played and starred for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Glenn Rice pulls up and hits. So Rice looks like he's getting the shooting eye back. He has scored all 4 Charlotte points.
He's the 6th leading scorer in the league at 22 a game. They say that he always shoots a high percentage here. Everyone in management is looking for a big game.
Ron Harper with a line drive on the 3, and there is releasing Glenn Rice. And Rice with the lay-in has scored 6. And all of a sudden, the Hornets have drawn even with just under 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Now, you've got to watch out. The Bulls have got to watch out for that because they release guys in game 2 also. You take a shot from the top of the circle, they're releasing.
Jordan beating Harper, and a good play by the Bulls. Ron Harper with his 2nd field goal of the game. So the Bulls regain the lead by 2. Mason, if he can, will try the low post against Dennis Rodman.
See, Rodman's not going to allow him to get down in there. You notice he's doing a little bit of that 2-step dancing, holding on around the hip.
Mason gets the open shot, however, on the screen and spot up, and Anthony Mason, the first Hornet other than Glenn Rice to score, evens it at 8.
If Mason can get any kind of an offensive game going, Dennis Rodman will have to pay attention.
Longley working against Mason, and he has several inches on him, and Longley makes the most of it. It's 7 feet 2 inches. And the big Australian gives Chicago the lead by 2 once more. Again, Mason now with a chance to post up against Rodman. They're bumping away, and Mason with a fall away. Divac with the offensive rebound. The basket good and a foul, and Divac picking up where he left off.
Now That's why we bring it out this point. Divac is averaging 4 offensive rebounds a game in games 1 and 2. This is his second one again this evening. So he's off to a good start. He's establishing himself big.
And Luke Longley picks up 2 fouls in the early going.
Grant, it's time to look beyond basketball. I'm thinking made-for-TV drama.
You want me to be just like Tommy, Dad, but I can only be Jake.
After that, you go on tour with your book. Then you cut an album.
I'm a cowboy.
So, what do we think?
I'd never do something like that. Care for a Sprite?
Would like to only average 10 in 2 games. In the playoff game 1, Fury scored 25, but he was 9 for 25. So you know that in this building, he loves it. He shoots a great three-point percentage, and that's what they're looking for.
Vlade Divac's unable to complete the three-point play. Longley stays in the game with 2 personal fouls. And a foul away from the ball against the Hornets. And Wesley with his first.
Yeah, that was down on the baseline side. The Bulls were setting up what we know as a cutter from the corner. Once the ball went into the post, the baseline guy cuts, and Wesley was holding him up under the rim.
It's amazing how Dave Cowens devised the defensive strategy in Game 2 on the bus coming to the United Center the other night, and then he had to sell his team on it as Ron Harper hits the shot. It was an unorthodox way, to say the least, to put something new in, but it worked, and they won the game.
You see right there, Michael Jordan's going to get double-teamed. Ron Harper will be open all night long.
Glenn Rice and Pippen got a piece of that one, and Longley with the outlet to Ron Harper. Harper picked up by Bobby Phills, and here's Jordan. Jordan guarded again by Wesley, a smaller man. Knocked away, ran into Scottie Pippen. Oh, good and speed. Wesley with the lay-in, and they're going to call goaltending against Ron Harper and credit the basket to David Wesley. But Michael Jordan ran into Scottie Pippen from behind, thus the loose ball and the fast break.
Well, Wesley definitely puts on the afterburners. You're going to see it right here. You have the strip right there by Phil's. Now here they come. Watch Wesley step out here right now. Now right there, the shot is up, and it just started to dip.
We're tied at 12, and here's Jordan coming around, meets Divac. Pippen is open for 3. Scottie Pippen hits. Scottie Pippen, remember, 25 points in Game 1 when he and Jordan combined for 60 in the Bulls' 83-70 victory last Sunday.
Oh, nice.
And Divac going around Longley, reluctant to pick up yet another personal foul. He has 2 already.
Yeah, and you know, Divac is smart. He's going to test Longley by taking him off the dribble.
Jordan with the fall away, and Rodman is there to clean up. And we have a tight and far better played game here in Game 3 than we did the other night. Rice from Wesley on the lob, and this crowd going wild.
Well, you can see Scottie Pippen was slow getting back down the floor on Rice. And with the lob pass, Pippen was a little hot. The Bulls are yelling at one another right now because they're not happy with their defense. They do not like the tempo of this game so far.
Glenn Rice has 8 points And we'll have another foul, and it'll be Glenn Rice, I believe, on the shove, his first personal.
Now, Lade can take it all ways. He can get into the lane. He has the jump hook. He's got the regular hook. He's got the fadeaway, and then the spin move. So he is a problem when he has his back to the basket.
Points in the paint thus far, and a 2-point edge for Chicago. Michael Jordan trying to use a screen from Luke Longley does, and he's got it. So Jordan now, with his second field goal, has 4, and the Bulls are up by 3.
Dick, Michael can shoot over Wesley even if he's with him. When they double team Michael, Harper is going to be the initial guy wide open, and that we have to keep looking for that.
And there's Bills posting up against Ron Harper. Bobby Phills, who has the ability to go strong to the basket, and Dave Collins would like to see more of that. And the Bulls lead now is 1 as we wind down to 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Divac trying to save it, and it is still Chicago's ball as Rodman tried to hold off Divac. And the crowd knowing it, Divac trying to save it, and Rodman got away with it.
All right, now this is just a beautiful play, defensive play by Divac. You know, Divac is much taller than Rodman, and he's taking advantage of the 7 foot with the arms up. You know, and now this is just a terrific move by Divac. Divac is all over the place in the series.
They've been working inside against the smaller Bobby Phills, and a 3-second violation is the call against the Bulls. A very snappy start here in the first quarter of game number 3. Phil Jackson's Bulls and the Charlotte Hornets even 1 game apiece with games 3 and 4 here at the Charlotte Coliseum. Game 4 will be Sunday. 3:40 remaining in the first quarter. And here is Wesley missing from the perimeter, and Rodman can't save it. So it'll still be Charlotte ball and a chance for the Hornets to take the lead again.
See, if you're being picky, you're going to say, why did Dennis do that? Longley had the ball. They were the only 2 guys in the lane. Well, as Dennis is chasing the flight of the ball, he doesn't realize that that's Longley in that position. He was just trying to tap it and go get it himself.
Jordan is guarding Wesley, and here is Rice off the curl. Battle for the loose ball into the hands of Michael. Under 3.5 to play, first quarter. Pippen against the smaller David Wesley. Harper wide open on the other side, and Ron Harper, who had 2 points in the first 2 games, now leads the Bulls with 8.
Now Harper's been open, and you know his substitute Kerr will also be open if they continue to stay with this type of rotation.
We haven't seen shooting percentages like these at all in this series. Teams barely at 40% in each game, and here is Phil. And you can see that the Charlotte Hornets are a lot more confident shooting here at home than they were at the United Center.
Well, you're happy for Phil because, you know, he's been struggling throughout the playoffs with his shot, and especially in this series, but he has been taking the shot. He's working so hard at the defensive end on Pippen, it's nice to see him relax.
And coming up on TNT after our game, it'll be Game 3 as the scene shifts to the Great Western Forum. The Sonics against the Lakers. They're all even 1-1, followed by Inside the NBA. And so now the Lakers are home for 2, Hubie.
Yeah, well, you know that game the other night, unfortunately for Seattle, they ran up against the Lakers hot offensively. The Lakers putting together a great defensive half court. But we know the Lakers are capable of that because of the great shot blocking, not only with one guy, but all 3 guys up front can block shots.
Tony Kukoc has come in the game replacing Luke Longley. Longley leaves with 2 personal fouls and 2 points. Here is Pippen working against Phil. Evans trying to double on Scotty.
Well, if you notice, he has not been able to score.
Ron Harper misses. And the fight for the loose ball, Dennis Rodman. Rodman gets another chance, and he's fouled.
These 2 guys, Divac and Rodman, have been working hard, and it's their 3rd game. They match up against one another, and it's really a battle. You got to give them both a ton of credit. They're working hard. Now, this is Dennis now. He just throws this one up there to get it up, hoping that he would get fouled.
Dennis Rodman had 8 offensive rebounds among his 18 in game number 2. First free throw is good, and the Bulls lead 22-20, so a far cry from game number 2. In fact, when you look at the fact that the Bulls won the opening game of the series shooting 41%, and the Hornets won game 2 at 40%, both teams in the rarefied atmosphere of over 50% shooting.
Well, everyone's happy with Rodman knocking in 2 during the year. He shot 55% on the line. Now, this is the first time in 2 games that we've seen Chicago come down the floor. They matched up man-to-man, not looking for any traps. But you never know when they'll put on that 1-2-1-1 press, or they'll trap you as soon as you come over half court.
And they put the trap on Glenn Rice momentarily, and the foul called against Tony Kukoc, who just entered the game. Kukoc struggling big time offensively in the first 2 games of the series.
You know, Dick, Scottie Pippen has been posted up in 2 games now, and he is not scoring with his back to the basket. They're looking for the double team. I would not double team him. Make him show that he can score in that position on Phil.
Good idea. Under 2 minutes to go here in this first quarter. 10 on the shot clock for the Hornets, who trail by 3, and Rice very nearly lost the ball. Rice gets it inside against Rodman, and Dennis Rodman, a big presence, gets it out to Scottie Pippen. So the Bulls leading by 3, trying to establish their biggest lead of the game, as Michael Jordan misses a 3, but gets his own rebound.
There's your triangle. Inside cut.
And you can see that the Bulls not happy with what they're executing on offense. They appear out of sync. Michael Jordan couldn't bail him out with the jumper, and there is Divac passing toward Bills, who lays it in, as Divac got it over the outstretched hands of Michael Jordan, and that's the second time tonight the Hornets have gotten the easy basket that way, and they trail by 1.
That was a rope. He threw a rope and right on the money.
And he did the same thing in Chicago. Here is Tony Kukoc, well short with the air ball. Under a minute to go, and here come the Hornets again. Wesley feeding Rice. Pretty. And the Hornets have taken the lead for the first time tonight, 24-23. Glenn Rice in double figures with 10.
See, this is so important. They're holding Chicago to 1 shot. This is one of the top offensive rebounding teams in the league. You get that and get it out, you can score on them.
Michael Jordan gives the Bulls the lead again. Jordan now 3 of 7 from the field. Has 6 points.
See, the Bulls get back slowly. So anytime that you get a rebound and kick it out wide, you have a chance. You got to pick your spots. And right now, Divac is doing a terrific job getting it out long.
He has been a hero in all 3 games for the Hornets, even though they did lose game 1. Posting up against Kukoc, and Rodman getting the rebound, and now the Bulls playing for the last shot, leading by 1. Michael Jordan guarded by Anthony Mason. Jordan with the fall away. It doesn't go, and that'll do it, as the Charlotte Hornets got 10 of their points on the fast break. And Michael Jordan, 4 points, but the other starters, who were very quiet in game 2, have come alive somewhat. And at the end of the first quarter, here at the Coliseum in Charlotte, the Bulls lead the Hornets by a score of 25-24. Such a heroic game in the second half, particularly the fourth quarter is in the game for the Hornets, and throwing the ball away was Bobby Phills. Oh! Great play by Scottie Pippen, who comes out strong with 2 baskets and an acrobatic move at the other end.
That was a terrific catch and a beautiful touch off the glass.
Mason is guarded by Kukoc now, and Pippen will be defending against Glenn Rice, who had 10 points in the first quarter. Here is Mason working against Kukoc, and he made it look easy that time. Anthony Mason now with 4 points, and he's got that big body to work his way in.
Yeah, well, he can back Kukoc down, and you know he's going to continue to do that. Right now, Charlotte has got to show us that they can score some points out of their half-court offense.
Kerr has the ball knocked away by B.J. Armstrong. And Armstrong finds an open space, misses a 2. Winnington gets the rebound for the Bulls. And Kerr finding Pippen, who's coming out strong here in the second quarter, but he misses that time.
4 on 3.
Armstrong. And Sills misses a 3. And there's Divac with another offensive rebound. And the loose ball foul will go against Bonnie Divac.
Now, I'll tell you why. That was a good call, Dick. That was a very good call, but it was a late call. Divac thought that he got away with over the back. Now, he definitely comes over the back to get the ball. but he thought he got away with it because he turned and he started to go up the floor. Now they're going to come with J.R. Reed right now, and they're going to go down inside. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the small front line of Charlotte with Mason, Rice, and J.R. Reed.
Devons with his second personal foul leaves the game. Pippen with Burrell, Wennington, Kerr, Kukoc. Here is Scottie Pippen with a spin move. And here come the Hornets. B.J. Armstrong, very active, trying to keep it away from Scottie Pippen, but Pippen reaching in, committing the foul, his first.
You know, in the old days in the 70s, you could get away with that. You know, hand checking in the backcourt was legal. And right there, Scottie Pippen, that was just a bad foul. He thought that he could strip the man. But when you are noted as a defender, and once again Scottie made the all-defensive team, they allow you to get away with a lot of hacking. But at that time, he was out in the open.
A little more than 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. The Bulls lead by 3. Here is Mason posting up. Burrell trying to double team, and there is Armstrong open in the corner, and Kerr got there, and the shot is missed. Steve Kerr, guarded by Armstrong.
Now this is second unit. In the game the other night, 36-26 in favor of Charlotte.
So the Bulls are going to need more production from their bench against the Hornets. Got a lot more confidence than they had from game 1. Burrell gets the loose ball and finally puts it through after the ball tantalizingly hung on the rim.
Well, he has been Mr. Energy throughout the season and also in the playoffs. A heavy contributor to this club.
And a foot block by Burrell, and there'll be a new clock as the Bulls have matched their biggest lead of 5 points.
Now keep an eye on this long pass by Kerr to the left of your screen. Watch the catch. Scottie Pippen's back is to the backboard, and then the ability and the athleticism to softly put it off the backboard. Here's Pippen with the ball
over as a pass went right through the hands of B.J. Armstrong. The Hornets have come in with Matt Geiger, who played 5 minutes of game number 2, coming back from a hamstring injury that limited to just brief action against the Atlanta Hawks in the first series. And Del Curry, who is a shooting hero in the fourth quarter, along with B.J. Armstrong, also is checked in for Charlotte.
Wow.
Kukoc misses from outside. Burrell, very active so far in the first half with the offensive rebound. Here is Bill Wennington, guarded by Geiger. Kukoc picked up by Geiger on the switch, and a pushing foul called against Geiger.
Yeah, that was a real nice move by Tony Kukoc. They ran their regular situation, backdoored from the corner, went through, and they brought Kukoc around from the top of the circle.
Armstrong is all over Kerr. Geiger picks up Kerr, and an offensive foul.
Now this is Tony Kukoc coming off that screen. That was a beautiful move. And once again, they catch a guy who has not played a lot of basketball since his injury, using his hands.
Bill Wennington with the offensive foul. So for the Hornets, Armstrong and Curry at guard, Reed, Rice, and Geiger up front. And Rice nearly lost it. Glenn Rice with 10 first quarter points. The double team on Geiger. 5 on the shot clock. And Kerr is all over B.J. Armstrong, who fires and hits from the corner. Tough shot by Armstrong with Kerr in his face.
The passing at the Charlotte end of the floor has just been horrendous. Very sloppy, and they're not really taking advantage of all of the screens. They're missing guys when they're open.
Here is Wennington wide open, and Bill Wennington hits coming around a screen for his first points of the game. Wennington, who was not on the Bulls playoff roster last year when they won their 5th NBA championship, and this time Joe Klein was left off the Bulls roster for postseason.
Well, you know, Billy missed 34 games this year with a problem with the right elbow. It's nice to see him back.
And Pippen gambling for the steal, and it'll still be Charlotte's ball as the Hornets have 11 seconds to attempt a shot.
Now, defensively, Scottie Pippen is everywhere tonight. He's not only matched up with Rice, doing a terrific job there, but he is all over the passing lane.
And he leads the Bulls in scoring with 9 points. Ball knocked out of bounds. Still 10 seconds on the shot clock. for the Hornets. They trail 33-28. So with all of the hustle by the Charlotte Hornets, it's been a methodical game for the Bulls so far, and the home team is trailing.
Chicago playing with it. There's your beautiful screen, and that's what Wayne Innings in there. He's dangerous.
J.R. Reed with his first basket of the game. Former #1 pick who played in France last year. Had been with San Antonio, and the Bulls lead now is 3. And there is Burrell shooting over B.J. Armstrong, and Scott Burrell, who had his playoff high against the New Jersey Nets of 24 points in the clinching game against New Jersey, gets the basket. 35-30 to score. Michael Jordan has come back in the game for the Chicago Bulls. And since Jordan was out, the Bulls outscored Charlotte by 4. But a loose ball foul is called against Bill Wennington, his second.
Now, you never mind that, because Billy was up in there along with Scottie Pippen. He had 3 red shirts going for that rebound that time. And any time that there are a lot of bodies in there, you have collision.
Luke Longley, who started tonight for the Bulls, playing more and more, coming back from his deep bone bruise on his knee, replaces Wennington. He had 2 fouls early, and Bobby Phills is in the game for Charlotte.
Well, with Longley, power, low post move. Wennington, more finesse, and shooting the jumper, 18 to 20 feet.
And Jordan is guarding B.J. Armstrong, and he did all he could do to keep him away from the hoop in game number 2. Armstrong played a terrific game against his former team. And Armstrong, trying to beat Jordan off the dribble, goes out to Phills. Phills finds an opening, and Bobby Phills now with 8 points, second to Rice's 10, and the Bulls lead is down to 3. Phills shooting much better tonight, 4 of 5 from the field after shooting 25% in the first 2 games. And against the smaller Del Curry, Pippen misses the shot, trying to post up against the smaller defender, and now the Hornets down by 3 with the ball. Trying to pass out was B.J. Armstrong. 10 on the shot clock.
Plenty of time here.
And illegal defense called against the floor.
I think they're a little bit perturbed, meaning the coaching staff.
9 points in game 2, only 5 in the opening game of the series for crew coach. Scoreless so far tonight. Reed over Rodman. Anyone's ball, and let's see if Reed could save it. No, and it'll be Chicago's ball.
Anytime that Charlotte is on offense and they take the ball within 2 or 3 passes, something good happens. So there's no need to rush the shot.
Michael Jordan to Rodman on the baseline. Hard foul by Matt Geiger. Second foul on Geiger.
Well, the Chicago bench here now, I thought they were going for the shot block. Right,
it is a flagrant foul.
Yeah, they catch. All right,
it's Rodman on the free throw line. Rodman with 18 rebounds in the last game, and unquestionably the wake-up call from Jason Williams and the Nets, who outplayed him in game 1 of the first-round series. And there is the 2 hands and the very hard foul and the flagrant.
The first man who was in there went for the shot block, and you could say that not only Geiger got him with the 1 arm, but he caught him with a 4-arm, and that was the reason for the call.
1 out of 2 for Rodman. The Bulls now lead 36-32. Vlade Divac has replaced Geiger in the Charlotte lineup. Dave Cowens in his second year with the Hornets. Back-to-back 50-plus wins for the first time in the franchise history. Longley in the low post against Divac with the hook shot. And it goes. Longley now with 4.
Now that was so soft with beautiful backspin. That ball looked like it was going to bounce out and go away.
Curry missing the 3, and Jordan the rebound as the Bulls with their biggest lead now of 6 points. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the first half. Jordan going inside to Longley. No basket, and a blocking foul is called against Charlotte. J.R. Reed upset with that call. And it'll be 2 shots coming at the line.
First of all, a great pass by Michael Jordan into Longley. And Longley, look at this roll. See, he's looking. Now, right there, Dick Pivetta was on that call, and they're saying that the defender was inside of the dotted line, the new box line in there. If you're inside of that and you take it to charge, it is automatic foul, 2 shots.
Longley shooting 2, and this capacity crowd of Hornet fans, and upset with the call.
All right, keep an eye on Dennis Rodman right here as he pushes Reed. Now keep an eye on this here now. Now you can see he just pushed him right in. A little nudge, a healthy nudge into a foul.
J.R. Reed leaves the game. And so does Del Curry as Glenn Rice and Anthony Mason come back into the game for the Hornets. One free throw for Longley, and the lead is 7 for the Bulls.
Nick, you've got to pay attention to Luke Longley this year. He is looking to score first.
B.J. Armstrong using Mason as a screen. Kerr fights through it. 6 on the shot clock. Rice guarded by Burrell. And
take advantage of him because he'll beat the double team.
Rice against Burrell, and Burrell doing a good job defensively. Scott Burrell having an outstanding first half for the Bulls off the bench.
They've got to get going with Rice, Dick. They've got to run some things where he gets some good looks.
Jordan travels as he tries to get around Bobby Phills, and that gets Phil Jackson's ire.
Yeah, he's up in mainly because you see very...
Lead is 7, and Scott Burrell intercepting that careless pass by Armstrong. And Jordan has it picked off by Phills, and the Hornets get it back. Here is Rice. In and out. Divac trying to save it, but cannot. And the tempo furious here compared to the first 2 games of this series, as Burrell misses a dunk and a 2-on-1 break. Now 3-on-1. Anthony Mason lays it in, and the Bulls lead is 5 with under 4 minutes remaining in the first half.
I don't know, we're in this building and people are going crazy. It looks like Charlotte should be ahead by 10 points, and you keep looking up there, and the Bulls are up 5.
And Michael Jordan is fouled. And the Hornets turning it over more tonight than they did in game number 2. That was their big problem in the opening game of this series. Kerr cannot connect. And finally, the Hornets, down by 7, have the ball. Nearly 3 minutes to go in the half.
Dick, in game 1, Charlotte turned it over 19 times. In game 2, only 10.
And there's Glenn Rice inside. Rice now with 12 points after getting 10 in the first quarter.
Well, Dick, when he first came in this league, at Michigan, he was a terrific post-up player. So you know that he's got the post-up game along with the three-point game. But you must get him active.
Steve Kerr with a 3 from the corner. Coming into the game, Steve Kerr was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, and he hits a big one there.
Well, they're getting a nice job, a nice contribution from Harper and Kerr tonight.
And Burrell as well. And there is the Anthony Mason against Rodman. Mason off the mark. And Dennis Rodman has his 6th rebound of the game. It is 44-36. The Bulls lead by 8. It's their biggest margin. So very quietly on the enemy court, the Bulls slowly pull away here in the first half. Jordan against Bobby Phills. And the rebound by Mason. Michael Jordan, 3 of 9 shooting in this first half, but his team leads by 8. Rice. Glenn Rice now with 14 points. He is the only player in double figures for either side.
Dick, anytime Rice is at the top of the circle, it puts a lot of pressure on Scottie Pippen because Scottie cannot leave him in double.
Chicago Bulls have maintained the lead. Steve Kerr hit a 3 moments ago, has hit his 2nd beyond the arc, and the Bulls lead by a score of 47-38, a 9-point lead there, Big Air.
You know, Dick, during the year, he's 5th in the league again in three-point shooting. He's a 44% guy. He's got to get up and play him. Very seldom will you ever see him take
personal foul. There are the mind games going on, as you see, with Rodman and Vlade Divac.
Yeah, well, Rodman, once this, I don't know where he gets it. Yeah, there it is right there. He catches him right in the left eye. Divac gets the elbow up because any guy, a big guy, is going to try to shed you with his elbow.
Anthony Mason from the baseline as Tony Kukoc replaced Longley, who goes out with 3. Mason has 8 points. He and Phills are second to Glenn Rice's 14. Bulls lead by 7. And Michael Jordan going baseline with a great move inside. And Jordan now leading the Bulls with 10 points.
Michael is not waiting tonight. As soon as he makes that catch, he's moving.
in a long time. A traveling violation against Michael Jordan and a technical foul.
A 500 application sent to at least 3 or 4 nights to referee.
I figured New Jersey was figuring there somewhere, Hubie.
Well, we're trying to cover the leg. Will you stop it?
By the way, the Hornets had gone to the free throw line only once before that last sequence. Michael Jordan with a high shot. Jordan with 12. You don't think they're going to get him mad now, are they?
Well, I'll tell you, that was a sensational shot because of the height and where he laid it on the backboard.
Divac misses the rebound by Mason, and we have 25 seconds in running, 19 on the shot clock for the Hornets, who are down by 9 points. They have led only once, and that was in the waning moments of the first quarter by 1. Playing for the last shot.
Yeah, you're going to have about 6 seconds, so the Bulls should be able to get it in quickly.
Divac is going to fire a 3, and he misses. The rebound by Rodman.
Plenty of time.
Still plenty of time. Kukoc is going to go post up and hit. Pulled up and hit Tony Kukoc with the basket with 1.7 to go.
Time here.
And Mason flips it up. And the Nike halftime report is coming up with a preview of the Sonics-Lakers game as Reggie Theus will join Kenny Smith and Ernie Johnson in the studio. There is Michael Jordan. High arcing shot off the glass as Jordan ends up with 12 points. And at the end of the first half here in Charlotte, the Bulls lead the Hornets 53-42, their biggest lead.
The trap. Divac came on the trap. Pippen was too quick. Split the trap.
Scottie Pippen, who was out the first 35 games this year with foot surgery in spry condition, considering that he is not tired going into the playoffs this year for the 35-year-old.
Well, anytime you only play half the season, it kind of helps, especially at his position.
And this is the time they need him.
Yeah, you know, you love his overall contribution. He's the middleman on the break, so he gets 6 assists a game, 6-7 rebounds, gets you 20 points, and then is one of the premier defenders that we have in the NBA.
All defensive first team for the 7th time in his career. Michael Jordan, of course, made it for a record 9th time. And Dennis Rodman did not make the first or second teams. A bit of a surprise as Jordan picks up his first personal foul.
Now, Michael made it for the 9th time. Bobby Jones, an old Carolina player, also did it 8 times.
Couple of Tar Heels right up there. Glenn Rice. Now 9 of 15 shooting, trying to keep the Hornets in the game as he did in the third quarter of game 2. A 10-point Bulls lead, double team on Pippen. Harper, who spent a lot of time on the bench in the first half. He's got that hamstring problem. Divac on a block on Longley, and they're going to jump it.
Well, you could see when they hit Longley in the post, Dick, he's allowing the cutters to go through, and then he's working hard. He's looking for the shot. But you see, he made himself small there. Anytime that you take the hook, you want to go up in the air. You want a high jump. You don't want a broad jump, because when you broad jump, you lower your size, and you allow a tall defender to block the shot. 20th greatest defensive player of all time. Why isn't he on the... Well, they did not start to pick all of these teams, all defense, you know, well, they always had MVP, but all of the...
Six-man,
yeah, things of this nature, because Bill Russell would have made it every year that he was in the league. He'd be the all-defense guy, and no one would probably catch him.
Not to mention shot blocking when they didn't keep those stats either. 2 minutes gone by. The Bulls lead by 10. Charlotte leading only once, that in the first quarter by a point toward the end of the first period. So the Bulls have been in control of this game on the road. And here is Wesley, knocks it out to Phils, and Phils will fire away short as the buzzer sounds. Rice gets the rebound. And Longley finally comes up with it. Everyone seemed to stop dead in the tracks when the buzzer sounded, and Rice had an open shot but couldn't convert. Here is Divac. Nice. Denying. Longley comes up with the steal. I tell you, Vlade Divac has had 3 solid games for the Hornets.
Well, the rebounding was there at halftime, like always. And the main thing is he's a double-team guy and helping out.
Here is Mason against Rodman, and Anthony Mason now in double figures with 10 points.
Now, Mason has a real complaint there. He's yelling at Ron Elysiak because he was pushed by Rodman right on the hip. The
lead is 8 now for the Bulls. And there is Wesley guarding Pippen, and a big advantage on a mismatch for Pippen. Now Michael Jordan in the lane. This is his first shot of the third quarter. And Vlade Divac, ever the nifty ball handler, gives it up to David Wesley. Wesley trying to penetrate, and the rebound, Pippen.
Everything is a force shot. They've got to clean up the offense, Dick, because right now they're not getting high percentage looks.
Here is Pippen with a fake on Divac, Jordan with a fake on Divac, and a good pass to Luke Longley, who is fouled and will go to the line.
Now, Divac has just been a little bit everywhere. Now, there it is. It's a good gamble over the top. He's played the passing lanes well. Now, just keep an eye on Rodman. Watch him push right there. You can see him. He pushed them out, forced them to glide in the air, but Mason had the ability to put up a soft shot.
David Wesley with his third personal foul. And Luke Longley with 8:22 on the third quarter clock makes good on the first free throw. And will try to give the Bulls a 10-point lead. Dave Collins, who's the Charlotte Hornets with a 32-9 record here at the Coliseum this year, their best home record in club history.
Now, they've been a very consistent team. And when you consider, Dick, that Divac and Phil both missed over 20 games, and also your best sub off the bench, Del Perry, also missed over 20 games. So they're a consistent ball club.
Ron Harper leaning in on Phil's, committing the personal foul. That's 2 on Ron Harper. This is game 3 of the best of 7. Remember, a year ago, the Atlanta Hawks stole game 2 from the Bulls at the United Center and actually had a 6-point lead at the half of game 3 before the Bulls turned it on and ultimately won by 20, and they won the series in 5. Glenn Rice leaves it for Mason. Mason driving against Scottie Pippen, using that body and getting the basket. Pretty move by Anthony Mason.
Yeah, I'd like to see him do that. Rather than throw the fade away, take the reverse move and take it strong, because he's so big, he can shoot the hook with either hand. I think that he'll get more foul shot attempts as the game rolls on.
Longley missing from outside, and Rodman with an offensive rebound. And a steal. Mason, 3-on-3 now, and here is a behind-the-back pass by Wesley, and now a 2-on-1 for the Bulls with Jordan and Pippen, and Divac fouls Scottie Pippen driving.
When you're on a break like that, you just don't need the mustard, and that's what we got with Phil. They were down there with that behind-the-back pass. Wesley, you didn't need that. All you needed was a meat and potatoes. You had a guy following, and it could have ended up in a nice 15-foot shot. Now you're going to see Pippen go. He definitely got fouled. Divac caught him right across the wrist there.
3 personals on Vlade Divac. And Scottie Pippen makes good on the first free throw. Divac, who has been a monster off the glass. Remember, he came over from the LA Lakers. In fact, played for the Lakers against the Bulls when the Bulls won their first NBA championship 7 years ago. So it's 60-51, a 9-point lead, and Rodman and Mason, and they're going to call Anthony Mason for the offensive foul.
Yeah, you see that time he hit him with his forearm. Watch that left forearm right there, and a little bit of a flop.
A little bit.
Yeah, you'd rather see Mason go in there and do the reverse move, because when you do the reverse spin, you catch the defender on your back, and now if you have the game,
14 points, his first of the second half.
Yeah, and that's been there throughout the series. Anytime they run that screen and roll from over on that area, Michael is leveling off, and they're catching the defenders late.
Rodman doing a good job on Anthony Mason, as he did in game 1 of this series. Here is Armstrong, and he misses a 2-point attempt. A Bulls situation with Pippen in the open floor, guarded by Glenn Rice. Here is Jordan with a turnaround over Armstrong. He knew he had him. And Michael Jordan now with the basket has 16, and that makes it 64-51 in favor of the Bulls. And Glenn Rice comes right back with his 22nd point.
Yeah, I'd like to see Rice get down inside. Every time they've gone some down here, something good has happened. And Pippen, as tough a defender as Pippen is, Rice still can shoot up over the top.
Here is Harper, and Divac the rebound. Bobby Phil's now switched on to Michael Jordan. Jordan, meanwhile, guarding Armstrong at the other end. Armstrong using a screen and missing the shot. So the Hornets take Armstrong off of Jordan momentarily and put Bills on it.
Yeah, you can see the bench right now for Charlotte, 2 for 10, Dick.
Jordan with the bump and the foul, and will go to the line. And of course, Del Curry hasn't really been the scoring machine he was in game 2.
You need the looks and you need to get in a groove. And speaking of a groove, this guy is in one tonight. He's saying, hey, Wesley, B.J. Armstrong, I'm shooting right up over the top of you guys.
Armstrong combined for 25 points in game 2. They have scored only 2 points thus far tonight. Thus the problems with the Hornet bench. Well, beginning July 19th, TBS Superstation brings you the 4th Goodwill Games from New York. 1,500 athletes, including figure skater Michelle Kwan, compete in 15 sports. A great summer event coming up, the Goodwill Games on TBS, the Superstation.
If you're looking at both teams' offenses right now, the defenses are tough. Percentage shots for 3 guys.
Jordan has 18, and the Bulls matching their biggest lead of the game of 13 points. Pippen doing the job on Rice, and Rice shooting, and it drops for him. So Glenn Rice now with 24 points. Remember, he averaged 25 against the Bulls in the 2 games here in the regular season.
Now, that was a nice move, Dick, mainly because Dennis Rodman came right over and challenged that shot.
5 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Curry in the game for the Hornets. Rodman inside and makes the basket. He was all alone waiting for the pass, and he converted. Dennis Rodman has 7.
The big thing is in this series, Dennis is attempting 8 shots a game. That was a pretty pass by Michael.
He's looking to score, no question about it in this series, if given the opportunity. Rice for 3, and he had Pippen running at him. So Scottie Pippen again doing a defensive job and making life difficult for Rice, despite Rice's 24. 4.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd. The Bulls lead by 13, trying to open up their biggest gap of the game, and Michael Jordan trying to do it, and does. 70-55, a 15-point lead. Timeout called by the Hornets. Michael Jordan has 20, and the Bulls doing everything right so far in game 3.
We'd like to give you Michael off the dribble. And as he splits the double team here, look at this nice pass to Rodman, and then Rodman sends it home.
Quarter 4 on Longley.
Yeah, I like him down in this area, Dick, because he's so active. He has the long step that in that first move, it's a quick step, and then when he elevates, he has such control, and he's a strong upper body guy.
Glenn Rice had 10 points for the Hornets in the 3rd quarter to keep them afloat. In game 2, he has 12 points here in the 3rd quarter, but his team trails by 12.
The 3-quarter court press tonight is not even phasing Chicago. They're getting the ball up quick, and they're staying within their offense.
Jordan misses. Rodman fighting for the rebound. He's got it. 11 boards for Dennis Rodman. And again, doing a number off the offensive glass tonight. He has 3. Appeared to have more, but he only has 3 officially. 10 on the shot clock. Jordan driving to the basket. Foul. Facing Devon, and there are Michael Jordan's very impressive playoff numbers. Averaging over 33, 6 rebounds. And Rice leading the Hornets with 27. So the big guns doing it tonight for the respective teams, but the Bulls getting a lot of help for Jordan. Not so for the Hornets after Rice. 5 on the shot clock. And Pippen really making life tough for Rice. And 1 second on the clock. Illegal defense, and this will be a technical free throw coming up. It is the 2nd illegal defense call against the Bulls.
Now that's a crime, mainly because the Chicago Bulls played that offensive set as well as you can play it. They were all over all of the screens on both sides of the lane, and then Pippen does a pretty. He could have been called for a foul right there on that initial move where he hit the ball. But right there, that was a bailout, but they did have an illegal defense to the right of the lane.
Glenn Rice shooting the technical free throw. 28 points for Rice. And the Hornets will inbound, trailing 72-59. The Chicago Bulls led by 1 at the end of the 1st quarter and 11 at halftime.
Charlotte needs a little bit of a spurt here, Dick. And it's got to come not only offensively, but the defense has got to stop Chicago. Oh, wow.
Plenty of time on the clock. Pippen blanketing Glenn Rice. A couple of pumps and Rice. And now come the Bulls.
The Bulls doing a terrific job in limiting Charlotte to one shot.
Bulls were impressive in their only other road game in this playoff, that against the New Jersey Nets in their clinching game in the 3-0 sweep. And this has been their best game since then. Jordan fouling Rodman, and a 3-second violation is called as Rodman was in the lane too long. Timeout with 2:33 remaining in the third quarter, and the Bulls right now with a comfortable lead.
So, I mean, we know that they took the home court advantage by beating us in Chicago. And we want to come back here and return the favor and put things back in our favor.
Very rarely do the Bulls lose back-to-back games in the playoffs the last 2 years.
Talking about is how close all the games were. So that's what you have to remember about them. They defend, take care of the board, and then you got 23 on your side.
So just look at the final numbers and you see how impressive they've been. Rice missing from outside. Mason keeps it alive. B.J. Armstrong in there with Rice, Mason, Del Curry.
He's got to take him strong. Take him strong.
He falls away and hits the basket. Not your style, I know, Hubie.
No, but he bumped him. See, he knocked Kukoc right back there.
Well, Rice and Mason are shooting 56% tonight. The rest of the team 33. Kukoc misses. Kukoc again with the follow-up as Michael Jordan upset with Tony Kukoc for missing that first shot.
Yeah, he's trying to wake him up. That Dave Cowan, very disappointed. You know, mainly because no one picked up Kukoc. And then for them to get 3 shots at your basket and not one white shirt even be contested, that's there.
And there's a foul called as Mason fouled by Rodman. They give each other a pat on the back. These are two warriors going at each other who respect each other. Rodman picking up foul number 2.
Now, if you're refereeing this game tonight, you know what's a foul. And you're going to see these two guys, they're constantly banging at both ends of the floor. Now, you can see Rodman using the forearm, and then he caught him right across the arm.
Jordan is guarding B.J. Armstrong. Pippen is on Rice. Great defensive effort by the Bulls overall tonight. Kerr is on Curry, who is yet to get on track as he misses. Del Curry, who is the hero in the fourth quarter, so far tonight is 0 for 2. He hasn't even taken enough shots to help his team.
Now, Dick, you know, you got to get guys like that open, and unfortunately for Curry tonight, Kerr just got popped right in the jaw.
Steve Kerr, who was battling injuries this year, he missed 32 games with broken collarbone, and then he also had a bruised bone in his left knee. He may be one of the smallest Bulls, but he's pretty tough.
Now just keep an eye on this play now. Now watch it right there. Right here. There it is. You can see he got rocked right back because as Curry was fighting through, he caught him with his left forearm.
Kerr with the free throw that with Michael Jordan with 1:02 remaining in the third will go out of the game. He has scored 22 points on a fine all-round effort, and Randy Brown, who has been kind of a forgotten man for the Bulls in this series, replaces him, and Matt Geiger and Donald Royal will come in for the Hornets.
Well, Dick, you made a good point. See, during the year, Randy Brown played 16 minutes a game. But at playoff time, the Bulls have 3 guys averaging 42 minutes a game. Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman. So naturally, their time is extended. The guys on the bench get less time, and you reduce your rotation. No longer 10 guys. Basically, the Bulls play 8 guys.
Steve Kerr, who has hit 2 from beyond the arc, makes good on the free throws, and the Bulls are 17 of 21 from the line. Charlotte has gone to the free throw line only 6 times.
Now, here's the trap. They got 1 trap. Now they're looking for another here.
And it's tipped by Brown out of bounds, and Charlotte will have 16 on the shot clock.
Now, that's a good group to be pressing and trapping with because you have Rodman in the back anchoring, and then Scottie Pippen as your freelance midfielder.
Lead is 15 for the Bulls as Geiger, who's come in the game. Now he's posting up against Dennis Rodman. Matt Geiger, and he misses the rebound by Dennis Rodman. 14 rebounds for Dennis Rodman, who had 18 in the last game and 14 in game 1. And it's still Charlotte's ball with 29.7 on the game clock and a new 24 on the shot clock.
In this quarter, you see an exasperated coach right there. Dave
Wennington has come in the final second, and Steve Kerr.
The Charlotte bench only scored 8 points for the game.
So this production more like their game one effort when they lost 83-70. 8 on the shot clock. Tony Kukoc has 5 reserves in there now for the Bulls. Here's Kerr, leaves it for Wennington. That's his shot. Bill Wennington, very effective on that 15 to 18 footer.
What are you saying here?
And the Bulls with their biggest lead, DJ Armstrong, and it's picked up and in by Matt Geiger at the buzzer. And the Hornets get the final basket, but Michael Jordan, who has 22 and 6 for 6 from the line, and the
baseline solid game.
And for the 5 championship years previously, that has been enough, as Scott Burrell fouls Donald Royal. Burrell, Jordan, Kukoc, Kerr in the lineup along with Dennis Rodman.
Now remember, in the first half, the bench, 14 points, 6 for 11. Scotty Burrell with 4 and Kerr with 6. Major, and this unit is on the floor right now.
And Burrell, a big spark at both ends in the first half, and again with a good defensive job that time, and Michael Jordan brings it down. Scott Burrell playing in his first playoff, and of course he was once a #1 draft pick by the Charlotte Hornets, the 20th pick. Played 4 years for the Hornets, and now with the Bulls, and Jordan is pushed by J.R. Reed, and Fareed is second.
The reason why I'm laughing is J.R. Reed said, I got hooked. But you know, when it's 23, you can get hooked. Okay?
But just remember, Hubie, they've called Michael Jordan for a traveling violation and a technical foul.
I see he's talking that he caught my arm.
Yeah.
So he caught his arm.
But we've seen some things we don't normally see regarding number 23. Kukoc with a Rodman screen. Tony Kukoc still having his problems. Only 4 tonight. Has really come up empty thus far in this series.
Now he's 2 for 6 in this game and definitely struggling there.
Reed working against Kukoc with 10 on the shot clock. Early here in the fourth, and no basket if it goes. The foul by Kukoc before the shot.
If they're going to make a run, they need this unit out right now, meaning Charlotte. This unit has got to give them some high energy, like they did in Game 2.
Donald Royal came in, and he was a big plus. In fact, Dave Cowan said, I don't think we would have won without his efforts in the first half. Corey Beck, who has not played, also came in. So Dave Cowan's looking for energy from somewhere to get it going. Steal by Jordan, and he's stripped by J.R. Reed.
That was beautiful. Michael Jordan's man went to the basket, and Michael let him go and came right back and gambled on this pass. See, Michael is going. Watch him go out of your picture. Now here's the pass. Here he comes. Excellent anticipation. Before Michael went to baseball, his first 9 years, he would always be 1, 2, or 3 in the league in steals.
And as we mentioned again, all defensive first team for a record 9th year. And Donald Royal fouling Jordan from behind. And 2 shots coming up for Michael Jordan. So you pointed out the other night, Michael Jordan started to simmer a little bit too late in Game 2. He did not waste any time tonight. He has 22 points and perfect from the line at 6 for 6. And remember, there are a few Jordan supporters here in Charlotte. He missed the first free throw. Well, tomorrow night at 9 on TNT.
Now that all-defensive team was Jordan and Gary Payton at guard, Mutombo at center, Karl Malone and Scottie Pippen at the forward.
Surprised Rodman didn't make the first or second team.
I'd say mainly because Dickey's had such a great year, not only rebounding but playing a center position, because Longley missed over 30 games this year. So, you know, he really had to step up and play big for them.
Devon's back in the game with 4 fouls, and Dave Cowan doesn't have the luxury of waiting on Devon, and Michael Jordan picking up his second personal foul, and a timeout called. A little more than 2 minutes gone by. Armstrong guarded by Kerr. Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Hornets, and an offensive foul called away from the ball, and it was against Longley. Well, let's check that out.
It was against Bobby Phil.
Yeah, it was against Phil.
Phil's
4 on Phil.
Yeah, Phil just stepped down on that baseline screen and put a solid lick on Scottie Pippen and knocked it right on the floor.
Pippen bringing the ball up with Kerr, and he's got Jordan, Longley, and Kukoc. 2.5 minutes have gone by here in this fourth quarter. 79-63 to score, and Longley goes up, defended by Divac, and a foul is called as diving for the loose ball was Longley and Armstrong, and this will be on Luke Longley.
That should be his fifth. Is that his fifth?
5 fouls on Longley.
Yeah, and here comes Wennington.
Longley has 5, and he'll be replaced by Bill Wennington. And of course, not real cause for alarm when you consider that the Bulls lead by 16.
What you do not want to have happen now here in Chicago is that this team, Charlotte, runs off a 9-0, 10-0 type of a run. But Charlotte's going to have to show us some real tough defense, which we have not seen consistently tonight.
Divac against Wennington. And that was a situation where Divac had the edge on Wennington, but couldn't convert. Michael Jordan, who has 23 points. Scottie Pippen with 14 and 9 at halftime. Jordan guarded by Bills, and Michael Jordan cannot convert. Good block out by the Hornets on the defensive glass.
Now remember in the first quarter, Dick, Charlotte had 14 points on fast break. No fast break points since the end of the first quarter.
Then you talk about the great half-court defense the Bulls are playing, and it is a suffocating defensive night. 5 on the shot clock, and Glenn Rice misses, and
they are challenging every shot attempt tonight. The hand is right up there.
Bill's trying to keep Jordan out. 7 on the clock. Bill Wennington participation.
How about this? Watch this. Good defense. No ball fake. Hey, and right up and got a piece of the shot. And right here, there's Michael Gamble.
Minutes gone by, and the score is 1-0. Bulls have scored the only point in this fourth quarter with more than 4 minutes gone by. Glenn Rice with double team and Divac after the fine pass. I don't know how Rice got it to Divac with 3 defenders in his face.
This is the 7th game between these teams this year. In the previous 6, Charlotte is averaging only 81 points. Now, you know that if they're going to make a run, it's got to happen defensively. We've got to see a better effort there.
Pippen is knocked down.
You know, from my angle, I thought that Scottie Pippen ran right into the chest of Divac, right there. I thought Divac was...
Right now the Bulls with Kerr, Jordan, Rodman, Pippen, and Kukoc. With under 7.5 to go in the fourth, there's Michael Jordan. Passes to Kukoc, and he's put his 4 personal fouls. And a 15-point lead for the Bulls, and Randy Brown will give Steve Kerr a rest. Steve Kerr has played a terrific game tonight, trying to curtail B.J. Armstrong, who exploded in game number 2. Kerr has 8 points, including 2 trifectas. And there's the big free-throw gap, a huge one, 25.
Here and here, the guy was averaging 34, 36 minutes starter. Now he's got to share all of this time with Luke Longley, so you know that it's difficult for him.
Divac gets the basket and draws the foul as well.
Thinks that it's easy, Dick, to be a starter, play 34, 36 minutes, go to the bench, come off the bench, be exact
28 during the regular season, so he's playing more in this series. Sonics Lakers game 3, followed by Inside the NBA next on TNT. Here's Glenn Rice missing a 3, and Reed gets the offensive rebound.
We have not heard Glenn Rice's name, when you think about it, Dick, in a long time, and making a big splash.
He has not scored in the fourth quarter yet. Divac playing with 5 fouls, including a big offensive rebound in the fourth quarter. And B.J. Armstrong converted.
To be smart.
Longley, and no one picked Luke Longley up as if it were the layup drill when they come out at the start of those were the days.
Yes.
Reed with a tough shot over Rodman, out of bounds, and its last touch very energetic after missing 22 of the last 24 games of the regular season. 83-69, nearly halfway through this fourth quarter. Michael Jordan against Bill Longley, and it's tapped away by Divac with 3. And then is Rodman inbounding. And here's Jordan with a fake, and Michael Jordan misses at the buzzer. Rodman, and Rodman is fouled. Dennis Rodman may not have the... Dennis Rodman, 8 points in this game, but rebounding in the playoffs. The top rebounder in the league has continued the great effort in the postseason. And remember, game one, outplayed by Jason Williams, and it proved to be the wake-up call that Dennis Rodman needed, as his other rebounding numbers and other totals indicate.
Well, you know, Dick, he wins the rebounding championship again this year, and he had over 20 rebounds, 16 times.
Amazing. Michael Jordan grabbing the loose ball, so the Bulls are hustling, getting the loose balls, and they're leading 84-69. Levi, remember, playing with 5 personal fouls, guarding Jordan, and a 3-second violation.
Dennis Rodman is only 6'7" and 215 pounds. That's what is so amazing about what he does.
David Wesley checking back in at point guard, and Glenn Rice losing.
Talking about the Chicago defense all night. And you have to look at have a good night. Well, Scottie Pippen is sacrificing, and he is working hard to not allow him to get the good catch.
And credit to Rice that he is 12 for 25 despite the defense by Scottie Pippen. So he's done a good job, but not as of late. 84-70 to score. The Bulls lead down to 14 with 5:14 to go. Plenty of time. As Charlotte makes a concerted run. Wesley and Bills defending Kerr and Jordan. Rice is on to Pippen.
Well, they're doing a good job running time.
Mason on the switch. Longley with a hook shot. Well done. Good ball movement. Bob blocked. Longley with 11. Remember, he had 15 off the bench and a 3-point basket. They now rule. And it's now 86-73. And Wesley with the 3-point shot.
See, their major plus for them is that Rodman or Pippen can bring a ball up.
Pippen found Jordan and went back door, and it took a little while before the Bulls got him the ball, but Pippen finally did.
Oh, that was just a great backdoor move by Michael.
And Michael Jordan now with 25 points. 86-72, or 88-72 to score. 16-point lead by the Bulls as we get close to the 4-minute mark here in the fourth quarter.
Bulls tonight have just been beautiful with the ball. Very few turnovers since the first quarter.
And their defense has been exemplary, as good as it's been throughout the entire playoffs, just going along with Jordan's 25 points. Up until the last game, Michael Jordan had briefly late in the first quarter, but this has been business as usual for the red and black tonight.
Well, you have to like, if you're a Bull fan, you love what Longley's doing in games 2 and 3. He's showing you that he's coming back after such a long layoff. The offense is there. He's making himself, his presence, his physical presence is there. He takes up so much room in the painted area.
And as you see, Michael Jordan again going to the free throw line, something he can only do 3 times in game number 2. Corey Beck in the game for the Hornets with a fake on Michael Jordan and the drive and the foul. With 3:45 remaining, the Bulls lead 90-72, an 18-point lead, and their biggest of the game. And it wasn't that long ago, QB, that the Hornets had it down to 12. But the Bulls turned on the burners, and they're starting to empty their bench now. Judd Buechler making his first appearance in the game. Beck makes the first free throw. Coming up tomorrow on NBC, showtime at 12:30, followed by Game 3, the Pacers and the Knicks. That series 2-0 in favor of Indiana. Then Game 3 of the Jazz and Spurs with Utah up front 2-0. Beck with the free throws. And the lead is 16 for Chicago. And they took the crowd out of this game. Nothing Dave Cowens could conjure up as he did in Game 2 tonight. The Bulls were just too strong at both ends.
Well, the frightening thing about this is if you're with Charlotte, coaching staff is once again, you know, you only have 74 points, Dick, and we have 3.5 minutes to go. Now, it's garbage time. You know, Chicago's put in a lot of the subs right now, so you might get 80. But basically, you know that this team just strangles you. In the game that you did defeat them in Chicago, you only scored 78 points. and you had a miracle fourth quarter with Curry and P.J. Armstrong giving you 21 points and making almost every long-range jump shot.
So you have to go back to what the pattern of the series been, and that has been Mason and Rice and not enough other productivity for them to get more than 81 points.
Yeah, Divac gives you the rebounding, but he's not giving you the points in the series. So who else? Where is this third guy going to come from in the game on Sunday and again next Wednesday?
And you remember the Hornets were third in three-point percentage in the regular season, only 1 of 13 tonight in this game. And Divac gets the basket and the foul, but it'd be too little too late for the Hornets. Kukoc now with 5 personal.
Now this is just a nice move by Divac, but you know he's got to be more involved. But with that first unit, with Mason posting up so much, he's not that involved down on the box.
Divac's double-double effort again tonight. He had double figures in the points and rebounds in game 1. He has 13 points, 12 rebounds as we get near 3 minutes remaining in the game. 92-77, the Bulls lead. So as they've had so many times in their history, coming up with a big road win. Judd Buechler getting the ball back for the Bulls.
The Bulls have so many role players who are outstanding. Judd Buechler had a terrific year for the Bulls. Randy Brown had a great year out with the second unit. And then you have Steve Kerr, you have Winnington, you know, Kukoc. You have so many guys who fit the need of the team.
And I think you hit the nail when you said role players. That's what they operate on. Here's Mason. Mason beats Glenn Rice. Glenn Rice now with 31 points.
Look out.
And Pippen at the other end gets it right back.
Where are your guards? Where are your guards? When you have a 2-on-1 and a layup, the rest of the people stop at half court and get back.
15-point lead for the Bulls. And they've come here, and the Charlotte Hornets with the big crowd. How many times have we seen that before as Mason gets in? And the Bulls have been there before, and you pointed out they swept round 1 last year, 5 games in round 2, 5 games in the conference finals before they won the NBA championship, beating Utah in 6. And against the Atlanta Hawks, same position, came back and won game 3 on the road and 1 in 5 after getting that scare, losing the second game at home. Foul underneath with 1:45 remaining.
To clean up your offensive half-court sets, because that's their major problem here tonight. Sure, they've scored in transition, but no second shot points tonight, and you're not getting high percentage looks out of your half-court offense. That has to be cleaned up by Sunday afternoon.
Bench wasn't there, neither was the three-point shooting as Mason goes to the bench. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Dave Collins and Anthony Mason have been going at it the entire fourth quarter. Dave Collins just took him out of the game and said, shut up. If you want to play for me, you sit down and be quiet. So we may have some more repercussions after this game later.
Well, nothing unusual about that, Craig, because after game number 1, as Matt Geiger misses the layup, Anthony Mason said that Dave Collins has to know his players a little better because he wants the game to come to me and I want to be aggressive. So this has been the story all year, really, for these two.
Well, Dave Collins summed it up perfectly. He said, you know, to the press, he said, Anthony Mason is a grumpy old man. And he said, all he does is complain. And a lot of guys who look at that and say, you know, he's not happy unless he's complaining. But he's also upset because they just got embarrassed here this evening. And that's what's bothering Anthony Mason more than anything else. And he has not come in with big numbers tonight.
Judd Buechler gets the 3 at one end, and David Wesley lays it in. And you got to give a little credit to Dave Collins, who played in the league, and know that that's going to happen. I think Dave Collins was probably grumpy himself during some of his years with the Boston Celtics, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, there's a guy who played with his heart on his sleeve at 6'9", the center position, and made the All-Star team 6 times, and only was on the championship team twice. MVP in the finals in 74. I would say that David has been in a few big games there in his career.
And he has a different style of coaching, a modern style, where he'll ask the players, do you think this will work? And we'll get the sanction from them. So to each his own, as Randy Brown fouls David Wesley. But the Bulls coming back and winning the game they had to win, as Michael Jordan said, now getting home court advantage back and will take a 2-1 lead into Sunday's Game 4.
Anytime that you coach in this league and you get to the playoffs, you can talk all about what you average during the season. And Charlotte averaged 96 points. It's what you average at playoff time when you get past that first round. Because now once you get in the second round, you're meeting one of the two best teams in your conference. And invariably, they are very sound defensively. Now, can your offensive sets work against this type of tenacity?
We looked at Glenn Rice on the bench. 31 points for Glenn Rice, but it was a hard 31 looking at Scottie Pippen's defensive blanket on him. And Michael Jordan, 27 points tonight, as Scott Burrell makes the first free throw. But Michael Jordan had a lot of help, something he didn't have in Game 2, and the rest of the starting unit shot a measly 25%. But Pippen had 18, Longley had 11, and Rodman had 10, including 17 rebounds. Travis Williams fouled hard. Well, this Donald Royal, Matt Geiger, David Wesley, and Corey Beck in the line. Will make it 2-1 over the Charlotte Hornets in the best of 7 with Game 4 here at the Coliseum on Sunday. Game 5 scheduled for next Wednesday. We'll have that one from the United Center. Dickie Simpkins hits the field goal. Final moment.